Hi, guy. Mike with Fights of Friends. Tonight at 6 p.m., we will be streaming Bellator 204. But right now, let me give you my breakdown for the main event. Four cards starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's start this out with Taiwan Claxton versus Chris Lencioni. Taiwan Claxton started out his pro MMA career with two impressive finishes, both in Bellator. First round flying knee knockout over Johnny Bowman put him on the scene, and then a second round ground and pound finish of Jose Perez has showed he is for real. This guy is no rookie, though. Claxton was on a development deal with Bellator where he went 7-0 as an amateur. The tough featherweight named Speedy said girls have been sliding into his DM since his flying knee knockout at Bellator 186. His opponent, Chris Lencioni, has a similar deal with Bellator, going 8-0 as an amateur. Finished 7 of those matches inside of the bell. He's now 4-1 with 3 submissions as a pro. Fighting out of Portland, Oregon, and training with Team Gracie Barra Portland, Chris is now 1-1 in Bellator after his first ever loss to Daniel Carey by decision at Bellator 195. This should be a great matchup of striker versus grappler. It's very tough to call given the limited experience of these fighters. I'm going to give the edge to Claxton based on his explosiveness, though. If you haven't seen that flying knee knockout, go look it up. I'm not able to post it here, but I predict Claxton by second round knockout. Next match is James Gallagher versus Ricky Bandejas. James Gallagher, the Irish prospect, being trained under the tutelage of Conor McGregor in Ireland. If you haven't heard of him, he's 7-0 with 6 submissions. 4 of those fights coming under the Bellator banner. The 21-year-old is training out of Ireland. He is 5-0 as an amateur. He had his first fight in April of 2014 and was 17 years old. He said Conor McGregor helped him through tough times when he thought about quitting. But it was his opponent doing the quitting in his last match at Bellator NYC when he tapped out Chinzo Machida at 2 minutes and 22 seconds of the very first round. He says he is more dedicated than ever thanks to the inspiration of Conor McGregor. His opponent, Ricky Bandejas, out of New Jersey, said knows he has a tough night ahead of him. But he's the CFFC Bantamweight champion. He's 10-1. He has 7 finishes to his credit, but he will be making his Bellator debut. The 26-year-old has been fighting since he was 19 years old, going 7-1 as an amateur. So these guys have got some experience under their belts. Although many feel he is being brought in to pad the record of prospect James Gallagher, as Gallagher is brought along slowly, he proved he had an extensive knowledge of the game in his last fight, taking out 41-fight veteran Nick Mamawis, who came into the fight at 29-11. My prediction at the end of the day is James Gallagher by submission, but it's not going to be an easy night for the tough Irishman. Co-main event, Brock Lesnar prodigy Logan Storley versus veteran A.J. Matthews. At 9-7, the once dangerous A.J. Matthews is in fear of becoming a gatekeeper. In fact, after losing 4 in a row before a split decision victory over Kendall Grove in his last match, Matthews was most likely in danger of losing his job. Matthews has 10 fights. This will be his 11th fight with Bellator over a 7-year span. So this is like his home. 5 of his victories have come way of stoppage, and he's always known to put on a good fight. The guy's always game. The San Diego veteran hopes to stay on the winning track against Logan Storley. That will not be easy. Logan Storley, 8-0, had a hell of a college wrestling career in Minnesota. So much so he caught the eye of superstar Brock Lesnar, who took him under his wing. After several high school state championships, Storley would go 31-7 his senior year, placing of college, placing third in the NCAA finals. He's brought that competitiveness and style with him to MMA, going undefeated and stopping 6 of his 8 opponents. I believe Logan will wear Matthews down with constant pressure and eventually take him out with ground and pound. My prediction is Logan Storley, ground and pound stoppage, second round. Let's get to the main event. The bantamweight champion, Darrion Caldwell, going against Israeli prospect Noad Lahat. The challenger, Noad, comes into this match at 12-3. He's finished 10 of his opponents inside of the bell. He's fighting out of AKA. The 34-year-old Israeli has a black belt in both judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Born and raised in Samaria, Israel, Noad took up judo at the age of 5 and had aspirations of competing in the Olympics. But at 18, as every Israeli male is required to do, Noad joined the Israeli military and served on special forces as a paratrooper. After watching a UFC fight with friends, Noad moved to the United States and literally knocked on the door of AKA asking to train. After grueling sparring sessions with Josh Thompson in 2009, when Thompson was training for a title shot against Strikeforce champion Gilbert Melendez, AKA decided, hey kid, you got a lot of heart. There's some potential in here. We're going to go ahead and bring you on board. Tonight, we will see if that potential is enough to beat a world champion. The champion, Darrion Caldwell, has fought 9 of his 12 fights under the Bellator banner. He's a 2-time All-American NCAA wrestler. Caldwell won the NCAA National Championship in his 2008 season. He went 38-1 that season, his only loss by injury default. In the NCAA championship match, he dominated contender Brent Malkoff. Was named Outstanding Wrestler of the National Championship Tournament. Very high-level wrestler. After college, he took up freestyle wrestling. Even though he had no experience in freestyle wrestling before this, within about a year and a half, he made it to the final round of the Olympic trials. When he didn't make the Olympics, he decided to turn pro in MMA. Tonight's championship match will feature wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. Both fighters have become competent strikers along the way. I predict Darrion will defend his belt tonight by unanimous decision. That's my wrap-ups and predictions for Bellator 204 main card. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your predictions are. Who do you think will win these matches? And make sure and join me at 5:30 p.m. as I go live for Bellator 204. I can't wait to see you guys tonight. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.